Yeah, I'm about to piss y'all off with this one. In case you haven't heard, within the past week or so, ESPN dropped a ranking for their top 10 quarterbacks going into 2024. I have the ranking in order, and basically, I'm going to make a tier list based upon the ranking and where the quarterbacks are placed. So, just a warning ahead, you're probably not going to like this one. But enough out of me, let's go ahead and get into the list. All right, so I'm gonna be doing this ranking based on the accuracy of the list. Um, there's four tiers: accurate, good, inaccurate, and what the fuck. So let's go ahead and get started here. First quarterback we have up is Jalen Daniels out of Kansas. He is ranked at number 7 in the top 10. As far as number 7 goes, Jalen Daniels, like Jalen, he's a pretty good quarterback. They run like a kind of RPO kind of deal at Kansas. Number 7, I'd probably say that's inaccurate. I think he's actually better than number 7. Um, Not exactly sure where. I'll probably give that answer at the end when I have everybody else put out. But Jalen Daniels, like, this is a guy that can win the Heisman. He won't because Kansas isn't going to be that great of a football team. But what he brings to that Kansas offense, he's explosive. He's obviously can run. He can throw. That's the whole point of an RPO offense is to be able to run and pass. Um, Run pass option. He reads defenses pretty well for the offense that they run. Now, how he'll be as an NFL quarterback, I don't know. This is for 2024. I think he's better than number 7. Next up is Cam Rising. He is at number 9. Um, he missed basically. I think he missed the entire season last year, 2022. 2023. What the fuck? He missed the entire season, and he has been a really good college quarterback so far. But going into 2024, number 9, I would say. I'd say that's good. Mainly because he's missed a year. He has to basically catch back up. He still is, based off of just resume alone, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But I don't think he's like top 5 or anything yet. Even when he was doing well at Utah, Utah had a pretty good defense for a Pac-12 team, and there was a couple games where they kind of escaped because of how well the defense played. But I do think he's a good quarterback. But the fact that he's missed a year due to injury, he has to recover and everything. I feel like that's gonna kind of hinder him slightly. So I'll keep him at number 9. Cam Ward, number 10. He is at Miami now after transferring from Washington State. Number 10. I'll say that's accurate. Number 10. It's just the fact that it's not necessarily him. As far as you got to remember, this is a ranking going into 2024. Talent wise, I think he has good talent, but the coaching staff at Miami is going to hold him back. They're going to do all types of dumb shit to basically derail Miami as a football team. So I think him being at number 10 is pretty good. I would probably lower that down to good. I could see him being like a number 9 and number 8, honestly, based on the guys we have listed here. But Cam Ward, I don't know, man. Like, I have seen some Washington State football, and they had a great start last season, and he was playing pretty well. But you're going into the ACC where defenses aren't great. It's not a good conference at all. So I think he can thrive, but just the fact that, just the fact that I just can't trust the Miami coaching staff to get him where he needs to be as far as being a top quarterback in the nation. Now, Miami as a team, they're gonna shit the bed. Like that's just that's just the case. Um, there's nothing good I can currently say about the Miami football team. I don't give a damn who they got in transfer. Like as far as transfers go, I don't care. I don't see Miami as a good football team. But this is a quarterback list, not a team list. So that's why I put Cam Ward where I put him. Jackson Dart, Ole Miss at number 6. Pretty accurate. Damn good quarterback. He's good. He can run the football. He reads defenses pretty well as far as like um he reads defenses okay. My only problem with Jackson Dart, why he's not in the top five, is he isn't great against good teams. He plays a team with a good defense, and the Ole Miss offense as a whole is just shut down. So I would say number 6 is pretty good, especially considering that, you know, you're playing some tough teams coming up. You're playing Georgia again. I feel like if there's any quarterback on this list that can prove me wrong, I think it is Jackson Dart. I don't think he will, but there's a possibility. I really do think Jackson Dart could prove me wrong. So I think number 6 is not a bad ranking. No Fafita at number 5. I'm going to be honest. I have not seen a lot of Arizona football. I saw some, but not a whole lot last season. But from what I did see, he's a big reason why Arizona has improved as a program. Offensively, you know, it's once again, it's the Pac-12. It's just teams with pretty good offenses and not a fucking soul over there can tackle. So, I think he at number 5. I think that's accurate. I think he's a pretty good quarterback and can benefit from the fact that he's playing Pac-12 defenses. He once again is a big reason why Arizona is improving and they're back out of the shithole that they were, and now they're, you know, somewhat competitive team instead of just being a doormat out west. All right, Carson Beck, Georgia. He is at number 1. As far as straight up quarterback play goes, I think he's the number 1 quarterback in the country. Here y'all go. Bias this, bias that. Yeah, there's fucking bias. There's a little bit. But overall, number 3 in yards last season in the toughest conference in America. Number 3 in yards. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look at this, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he was number 1 in the nation in completion percentage. And he did that shit in a tough conference. Threw for over 3,500 yards. The guy is good, and now he has a chip on his shoulder because Georgia got as far as they could and did not win it all. The expectation was to run the table, go undefeated, win it all, continue the winning streak. Didn't happen, so now he's back with a chip on his shoulder. My only concern with Carson Beck is the fact that Mike Bobo is still in charge. And, man, if Monken was still at Georgia, I'd have no concern whatsoever with Carson Beck or the Georgia offense, but Mike Bobo's still there. So bad things can happen, and, you know, calling reverses in the SEC championship when you're inside your own 20, calling fucking reverses in a game that you, by the way, lost by 3. You know, shit like that. That's the only thing I can see holding him back, but overall I think he's a pretty good quarterback. Jalen Milroe is at number 4. Accurate. I think Jalen Milroe is the number 4 quarterback in the country. I can see him at number 3, to be honest. Not because of team wise, but because of just how dynamic he is in the pass and the run game. He's not a bad passer. People look at him as like, oh, he's a terrible thrower of the football. He can run. Basically everything they tried to say about Lamar Jackson, they're trying to say about Jalen Milroe, and he's not a bad thrower of the football. Is he the best in the nation? No, he's not the best thrower in the country. But just the fact that I said quarterback now, I didn't say arm talent throw. He can lead a team. He can get himself out of terrible, like, sticky situations where he's got a lot of pressure on him. Instead of taking a sack, he can run himself out of danger. And then look at the Iron Bowl last year. Like, yeah, I get it. You're playing Auburn, and they're going to do everything they can to fucking beat themselves anyway. Yes, that is true. But think about it like this. Through a Hail Mary, 4th and 31. He had to get 31 yards on that one play. Otherwise, they lose the game. 31 yards, and you have 5 eligible receivers. And if you look at that play, you only have 5 eligible receivers running downfield. Auburn put 9 people back in coverage. They only rushed 2. Once again, Auburn trying to beat themselves. And he threw a dot to the end zone. It would have been a criminal act for that wide receiver to drop the football. And that's a Jalen Milroe masterpiece right there as far as him throwing the football. And then the way he performed in the SEC championship game, that was a hell of a performance right there. Alabama did everything they could to beat Georgia. They played a great football game. And overall, that's why they beat Georgia. They played a better football game than Georgia did. And then, you got to the playoff and 2 yards short. Offensive coordinator fucked the game up, and he's the reason why Nick Saban's not coaching. I'm just playing. I'm not sure. I think Nick Saban just chose to retire because, he's old. Quinn Ewers at number 3. Inaccurate. I would say good. I'll say good. Quinn Ewers at number 3. I think he's the number 2 quarterback in the country. If there's going to be a battle for number 1, it's going to be between Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers. I think we underestimate violently how good Quinn Ewers actually is. Yeah, I think Quinn Ewers is the number 2 quarterback in the country. Reads defenses very well. Great thrower of the football. Very accurate. He's got everything you need in a quarterback. Especially in a pocket passer. I think this is going to be a great NFL quarterback too, in my opinion. If he's in the right system, this can possibly be a really good quarterback. Excuse me, my bad. I think this is a really good quarterback, and he could potentially be a Hall of Famer in the NFL. I know I may be jumping the gun here, but from what I've seen, I think he has the potential to do all of that. Now, whether or not he ever gets there, that's a whole nother story. But Quinn Ewers is a damn good quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, he made the top 10. He is at number 8. What the fuck? That right there might have been the worst ranking I've seen out of ESPN. Shedeur Sanders at number 8. I've made a whole other video about Shedeur Sanders and his highlights, and is he even good? Is he even good as a series where I react to highlights and stuff like that? So y'all be sure to check that out. Shedeur Sanders is easily a top 4 quarterback in the country. Yeah, I went there. Like I said, I was going to piss some of y'all off. If I haven't already, here's the part. Shedeur Sanders, while he does get a lot of hate, and once again, if you're watching my other videos, you'll know I'm not a Colorado fan. I don't like Colorado. Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback, and the problem with ESPN and a lot of y'all casuals out there is that y'all try to put Shedeur Sanders in a box. Y'all try to say that because of what his father does coaching wise, and because of what Shedeur does off the field, he's not a good quarterback. And then here comes the part right here. Colorado went 4-8. Once again, what's that got to do with him as a quarterback? The man threw for over 3,000 yards in 12 games. There were guys who didn't hit 3,000 yards, and they had conference championship games. They had bowl games. He did this in 12 games. They went 4-8, so they did not play a bowl game. They played a 12-game regular season, and that was it. 30 touchdowns. He was a damn good quarterback on a bad team. And let's not also forget, the man came from playing FCS football, by the way. He was at Jackson State playing FCS football and translated to FBS football. Now, if you know me, there isn't that much of a difference between FBS and FCS football. It's not as different as you think. I can make a whole nother fucking video on that if you don't agree with me. But he transitioned from FCS football to FBS and did it seamlessly. This is a top 4 quarterback in the country right there. And the main reason why Colorado lost 8 games last year was simply because he had no O-line protecting him. O-line let everybody through. He was getting killed on a weekly basis, and then the defense wouldn't stop anybody. When you have those two things, yeah, I bet you are going to go 4-8. If Carson Beck is in Shadur Sanders' position, he goes 4-8, probably worse. Jalen Milroe is in Shadur Sanders' position, he goes 4-8. Quinn Ewers, Jalen Daniels, Dylan Gabriel down there, put him in Shadur's situation, they either go 4-8 or fucking worse. And I mean that. Then you got Dylan Gabriel at number 2. I think he's like, I'd put Dylan Gabriel at around number 3 or number 4, something like that. He's good, but he's not top 2 good. And yeah, that's pretty much my video right there. Y'all be sure to check out some of my other stuff. Done reaction videos in my Is He Even Good series. Y'all be sure to check that out. But this is my second tier list on the channel. Be sure to check out the other tier list on the channel where I did a top 25 ranking on Joel Klatt's Way Too Early. Did rank the accuracy of that, but y'all be sure to check that out. Till then, y'all be safe. Thank you for your support. Stay dirty.
Put up with that mighty cake, bitch, that mighty drink. Right now, fire is up now. You bound to die. I just woke up, got bands today. What got rest today? Put up with that mighty cake.